Hello, welcome to RezoBiz, episode number 8. And in this session, we're going to cut out the sound forward hole, and we're going to find out what last week's votes were. And we're going to start making the markings and prepping for finishing out the inside of this guitar. And then we'll have some choices to make also. Hi, I'm Byrl with Byrl Guitars, and welcome to RezoBiz, where everything is greater with a resonator. All right, for our people's choice, how you have chosen. And this is the people's choice, by the way. I don't know who that loser was that was in here last week running off with my dobro and hijacking my whole RezoBiz, but actually I know who that guy was. That was my son. He's a nut. I laughed so hard when he was making that video. So anyhow, we had all this stuff going on, and we just used that because I didn't have time for a video. But to the people's choice, my preference was right here, and I think I put out the subliminal messages. Nobody picked up on it, so people's choice, the extra heavy duty spalting, which I think is gonna look good. Either one obviously would look good, but I'm excited about it. It was a good choice. Very good. So that's going to be our, go for our head. I really like the head choice. Spalted maple, spalted hackberry fretboard, or the custom spalted hackberry fretboard, or the ebony. This one, I mean, if I could throw this and didn't care, I would. That barely got voted for. There was some interest in the custom, but not enough. And by really a landslide, we chose the ebony with, it's got like this chocolate grain in it and stuff. This thing is going to look absolutely beautiful. So I'm excited about that. Very good choice. Looking forward to doing this. Somebody mentioned, they chimed in and also said something about when we do the frets and fret markers and all that, there's an LED wiring system or something you could put in your fretboard. I've heard about it. I think I've seen it. I've never messed with it, but they said since it's custom, so I don't know. I might have some votes on that. I have to look into it, but I think that would be cool. If we're going to do LED, and since we had the sound forward hole voted on, and we'll see that a little bit this week, if you're going to have a sound forward hole and you want to go LED fret markers, we could just light up the inside of the dobro too. I mean, if you want to go custom. So maybe we'll put that in for the votes. Not this week, but that was a cool comment. Actually, I had a couple cool comments because it's been 2 weeks since we actually had a people's choice. So I'll mention a little bit about the other one too, but I've had an inspiring couple weeks by you guys these last 2 weeks, so thank you. All right, so you voted for a sound forward hole, which I'm thrilled for. So what I'm going to do right now, I've got my mark where the hole should come to, and this is my template. I'm just going to get that lined up. Draw a nice line, and then if I can find it, I will cut out, oh, not the rest of it, cut. I guess it's kind of like scribing with X-Acto blade where this hole should go, and get this cut out. Finally, I'm glad for the warm weather. We finally got to warm weather. Now I'm just a little bit on the hot side, but I'm thankful that we don't have the cold weather. I didn't think spring was ever going to come and stay. We had, here in Indiana, we had about, we had 70, 80 degree weather. The fruit trees were in full blossom. And then we had a threat of snow. And we did not get the snow, but we did get a kind of a hard frost. And thankfully, the fruit trees had already done most of their blooming and stuff, but some of the other trees that are kind of later got hit pretty hard, and gardens and all that. All right, so I'm cutting out. Well, I'm not cutting out, but I'm I'm trying to follow my pencil line real nice with the X-Acto blade, and I'm scribing lines so when I router this thing, there'll be this distinct spot where it don't chip out. It just, you can tell you've gone far enough. It's hard to explain. You have to be doing it, but you can tell you've got to your edge because of the way that it cuts out when you're routering. Now, sometimes, like when I'm doing mahogany, I about can cut through it, and this is almost feeling that way. And again, this is the first time for me for the, yeah, I'm cutting through right there, I think. Hackberry, I've never done a hackberry. I know it's going to look pretty. I'm real confident it's going to sound pretty. But exactly like what, I don't know. I just kind of have a guess. I think it's not quite, it's not as hard as maple, but it's not as soft as koa, or at least I don't think it is. Koa, or what's the other one I was thinking, mahogany. Yeah, I feel like if I keep doing this, I might cut through it. I can just hear the fibers cutting as each time No. I kind of thought I was through, but I'm not. All right. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of rough it in up close to the edge, not quite to it, and then I'll go from there. Helps to plug it in. Here's our initial piece cut out. You say, well, that don't look very clean. It's not. And we'll just slowly trim it back to where it needs to be, real careful like, till I've got it. Alright, I'll change over to this other one and I can get a little more detailed. You don't take out as much. Alright, so I've got it close. I don't know if the camera's picking up my line, but All right, so I got it cut out pretty good. I'm just kind of rolling this edge. All right, so now that's done. For the most part, we got some choices to make. This is hackberry. I usually don't use the same color wood inside of there, but that could be a choice. This is a piece of rock maple. It's got some real tight curl in it. A little bit of spalting. I don't know if I could, I probably couldn't make that fit in there because it's got to be pretty well even there, but so there's a bit of that. And then I have this curly, this is what is this? I forget. Cottonwood. Who knew cottonwood could be so pretty? Let me get a paper towel. I'll show you what some of this would look like. See that? It looks similar, but it does actually match pretty close. The difference though, I mean, this is going to have, we're going to have a binding, and then we'll have a little bit of black, dark shadowing in the waist and stuff. Yeah, because I'm not given an option to stain this as far as black it out or rake it red or whatever. So it will have a natural color to it, except I will use some stains to darken the waist. That's kind of like pre-decided when I decided to use hackberry. If you guys chose it, that's how we're going to do it. So I guess it's taking away the voting. It doesn't sound much like a people's choice, does it? But I think that's kind of the thought since we've been doing this. So that's the ash. No, what is that? Cottonwood. Cottonwood. Let's see what we can make this look like. This is a pretty one. This is that real tight figured maple. And that's going to have a little bit of that. It does have a spalted line there and a little bit there, although that one won't show. This one will. But that would be a really pretty piece. So there's 3 different ones there. So we got to make a choice on what. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, there's the hole in that one, and that's actually the same. That's cottonwood there. It came from that same piece. So it'll end up looking like this when we're done. All right, that's that. Now we got to start doing the tedious stuff and get the inside prepped. Now I know I said I'm working on the inside, but this is actually part of it. These holes, you know, somebody, wish I had a piece cut. Somebody chimed in and said, Byrl, why don't you, here's my template for, so what I do is I'll take a chunk of this, and it's the piece that goes in there, and then I'll take this template here and mark out these holes, center in it and everything, and then this piece goes as a backer for this hole. But somebody said, why don't you do the same thing in these holes? And I don't know if they meant round holes with the ovals in it, or, you know, putting some others. I don't know what they were thinking, but it did inspire me. And so I came out here and I started drawing on this different size holes, and messing with, I don't know if you can see it, messing with that idea of putting that in there. I thought that was really neat. And because it's already been voted on, this will get sound rings, unless there was like a massive, everybody started saying, hey bro, why don't you do that, then I might put it to a vote. But as of right now, anyhow, I guess I said all that to say, these holes on here, I just drew them on there because I was playing with that idea. I'm probably going to do that. Somebody gave me a really good idea. And I don't know who that was, but thank you. I probably will do like a sound forward hole, but only on the top at some point. I think I would do it round or have some different kind of shape, but I like the idea of making my own screen mesh, which there's another thought I had for that, how to make that work. Anyhow, what I'm doing right now is I'm measuring. I measured out, these weren't center, so I got a little dot here and a little dot here, and I'm making sure they come to the same spot to my center. I don't want no problems. All right, so here's my center line, or this is my hole. This is the right one here. All right, there's that. Now I'm going to drill a little bit of a hole. There's what I do is I'm going to take and just use this to mark there. I just did that. So I said we was working on the inside, then I started on this side, but it was so that I could put those marks, because those are important for knowing exactly where I'm going to put my top bracing. All right, then the other thing I got to do, this is all, this is where the whole process really slows down, because the next thing I'm going to do is get in here and sand all this, which I did sand it pretty good to begin with, but I'm going to smooth up some stuff now, clean up a little bit of glue around some stuff here. And I just like to see these things get as nice on the inside as I possibly can. And my theory behind that, or reasoning, is when I smooth them up, is because your sound's bouncing around in here. And if you don't have them smooth, it's just like in a sound room, or like your recording studios or whatever, you see that the foam on the wall, and it's to deaden the sound. Well, on a resonator, at least the way I make them, I don't want to deaden the sound. So I don't want the fibers in the wood to be rough and catching the sound. I want it to be smooth. I want it to resonate, echo, have overtones, we want it to resonate. We want it to be heard. We want it loud as we can get it. I don't want anything impeding the sound. We put that baffle in. We won't put it on this because I have a sound forward hole, but oh, right here. Going for it. It filled in. But we want that sound to come out. I put those baffles in. We do that to get that sound out. So I want to smooth it up, so I'm not doing anything to impede the flow of sound on the inside of this guitar. Plus, it's nice. I want it to be as nice as I can get it on the inside as I can, just like I want to do on the outside. So that's the next step. So I gotta get some bracing in here. I got bracing to put on the side, and we have a lot of sanding to do. All right, so this week's choices, we're gonna have, I'll put number 1. Oh, I have number 2. I'm writing backwards. I don't know how that's gonna end up looking. Number 3. I think that's right. It should be. I'm dyslexic half the time anyhow. If I get tired, I'm real bad. But then I can also read backwards too. It's crazy. So what I gotta keep in mind is I would, right here is where I would use this. But all this gets cut out, and then this is pretty much all you see. So you're just going to see this bit, which that's going to be really pretty. Now this will match. This is Hackberry, choice number 1. And this will be our what is that? Hard maple, rock maple. So pretty much right in here. Let's see here. So all you'll be seeing really is just this bit right here, which this curl is so tight that it'll have something real nice in every bit of it. And then the last one, third one, this is the I always want to call it ash, cottonwood. And this will be kind of give you an idea where, so that curl in there, hopefully you can see that really good. That curl is real strong through the whole thing, so you'll see it in the edges of this. And yeah, that's the choices right there. The Hackberry number 1, rock maple number 2, and the cottonwood, I can never remember it, number 3. All right, so that's all for this week. If you liked it, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed it, subscribe if you would, and then share it with a friend. And then tune in next week, and we will find out what the votes are for that sound forward hole.